Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on my 2018 top 10 palettes, and happy new year. This is my first year for 2019. I'm super excited for all of the uploads that I have coming up, and with that being said, I do have some old reviews that I still gotta get to. I did get behind. We did leave for the holidays, and so I didn't upload as much as I wanted to, but today I decided let me close off the 2018 kind of year, even though it was like a few days ago. Close that off and show you like my top products. Why can I talk? Show you my top products for 2018 as far as palettes. One more thing, I did cut my hair and I filmed it, so if you want to see the DIY, luckily it ended up being a very good DIY because I was afraid it might be a fail video, which would have been funny too. But I do have a DIY video that I uploaded previously, so this is my first video with my new haircut. It was a fun, very fun video, and I even show you how I style it and stuff. So if you want a new look at your own risk, you can check out that video, and it came out really good. So anyways, let me go ahead and get started with my favorite palettes for 2018. Of course, like I said, I do have some other palettes that I like, but they didn't make it to my top 10. Alright, so the first one I wanted to mention is this one from Too Faced. This is part of the Tutti Frutti line, and even though it's just a neutral tone palette, I actually do have like 3 that were my favorite for 2018. I love color, but I still love wearing neutral tones all the time. Now, just by looking at it, you're probably like, okay, you know, but it does have some very, very pretty shades, and not only the colors in here, but the formula was so easy to blend. I was surprised that I actually like this. I also have the purple one, which I did like too, but this one just kind of, I liked it a little bit more, especially because of this green that it has in here. It is like two-toned, maybe like a duochrome type of eyeshadow, some very, very pretty shimmers, and then the mattes in here just blend out so easily. And it doesn't have that many shades to create like a bunch of different looks, but sometimes whenever you have a neutral tone palette that's your favorite, you already know the combination. It's all gonna work, it's all gonna look good together, and I just feel like this palette gives me that. So that's why it just ended up being one of my favorites in the neutral tone category. The next one is this one by Dose of Colors, and this is the Friendcation palette with Desi and Katie. And this one is the first Dose of Color palette that I got. No, it was actually the second one. The first one was the I Love Sarai, which I did like that one, but it has less shades in there, and I didn't feel like I reached for it that much. This one has neutral tones, plus it has some color in here. Look at how pretty those green and blue shades are. Like, they are so nice. And I was really glad that the mattes were high quality, like the way that they blend and the shades, the way that they feel and everything, they were easy to blend out, because it does have most of the neutral toned matte shades in here. So if that wouldn't have worked out, I would have been stuck with like 5 shades in here that I really wouldn't be able to use. And it was also something new that I tried. Dose of Color, I barely tried it in 2018. I had never tried it before. The first thing that I got was like the I Love Sarai collection, and that was the second thing. So and then I ended up buying more Dose of Color things. So last year was the year that I tried Dose of Color, and I am very happy with that palette right there. I do have like some favorite very colorful eyeshadow palettes, the main one being the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil, but that one's not 2018, so I didn't want to include it. That one was like it's been out for a while. But my favorite colorful palette for 2018 is this one by Juvia's Place. This one is the Zulu palette. Am I not focused? Okay, I'm not sure if the beginning of the video was completely in focus, but now we are. So anyways, I was talking about the Zulu palette, and this is the palette that made me buy from Juvia's Place whenever they weren't selling at Ulta yet, and I had never bought from their website before. So this one, of course, a loud truck. This one was a palette that I was like, okay, I have to have that palette. It is so pretty. It has the most beautiful shades in here. You get a bunch of color. I know there are only 9 shades in here, but they're like the perfect colors that you will need for a bright, colorful look. You get an orange, a yellow, green, and then pink and purple. Like, that's perfect. And then you also get some shimmery, colorful shimmer shades in here. So this one was just a beautiful palette. It's just a beautiful palette. I am in love with it. I get it all the time whenever I want to do something very bright. And then you also get the shimmer shades in here that are so pigmented. Like, as soon as you apply them, you are going to get the shade that it looks like in the palette. So this one was my first purchase from Juvia's Place. I actually bought 2 palettes at the same time, but this one was the one that I made my purchase for. Like, I bought this one and then I got another one just as an extra, a neutral tone one, which I'm actually actually going to show you in the video because it became one of my favorites for 2018. Next one is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and I actually have this one in another rosy tone one. I know it's just a whole bunch of berry tones. The quality of this palette is so good. You can create a bunch of different looks, and I will compare it. I haven't yet, but I will be comparing it to the Kat Von D one, and even though they have similar shades, I feel like I can't create a lot of looks with that Kat Von D one, but I'll get into that video in that video. I'll get into that palette, in that video. But this one, I feel like I can create a bunch of different looks if I want to go a little bit deeper, if I want to do something light. You can just create so many different looks. You also get the options of using the shimmer shades in here. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I just ended up loving it. The next palette is the Anastasia Norvina palette, and I am in love with this palette. I feel like I have been able to create very unique looks. My favorite shade from here is this one called Eccentric. It's like a mustardy brown, orangey, but kind of yellowy at the same time. I am in love with that shade. I also really like Passion. It's more of a burgundy shade, but it's a little bit different. Like, it can get really deep if you want it to. And then just all of the shimmers in here ended up being really, really creamy. Like, they are so easy to apply. And some of these I've used like to apply on top of my eyeliner, and I just did that once and then I ended up loving it, so I continued to do it and to try it. Some of them not so much. They're a little bit powdery like Wild Child. I think Wild Child, which is the pink one, is a little bit powdery. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Dreamer, I know it looks so like common, but it shows up so shimmery. I really like that one. And then Rose Gold is more of like that, not flaky, because it's not flaky at all. It's like I can't think of the word, but it's just one of those eyeshadows that lay flat very nicely and flat, not like shimmery on the eyes. They're just kind of flat and look really shiny. That's how Rose Gold is. It's just so nice. It's just so nice. Like, I really like it. Look at it. And then let me show you Summer. Yeah, it was Summer. Summer is the same way. It just lays really nice and flat. And then let me show you Dreamer. This one's so pretty on the inner corner. It just looks so shimmery. I know they kind of look kind of boring, but they really do show up really nicely on the eyes. This next one is the one that I was talking about from Juvia's Place. This one is a very neutral tone palette. It does have a little bit of color with those like green and that aqua tone in here, but they're pretty much neutral tones. This one was the one that I got with the Zulu palette order. That one was the main one I wanted, but since I wanted to try a colorful palette, I went ahead and I got a neutral tone palette to try out, and the quality of Juvia's Place is crazy good. You get 6 shimmers in here and then 3 mattes. I've done tutorials using these and they're just crazy pigmented. Oh, I just mixed those 2 colors together. They are just crazy pigmented, really easy to blend, easy to apply. You get the color that it looks like in the palette, and they're just very pretty. I like that the matte shades are really warm, and I just ended up loving how intense it is, how easy they are to blend out, just everything about it. The quality of it is really good. So this next one is also a neutral toned palette, and this one was another one that I was surprised to actually feel like a favorite. This one is completely basic. Like, it has the most neutral tones ever. It has light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and like those beigey tones in here. I know it looks nothing crazy or anything. By the way, it smells really good. This one up here is one of my favorites. It's a warm tone of brown, and then if you want to create a cool tone look, you do get the option as well. So I know nothing too crazy where it looks so different, but it's a really nice neutral tone palette if you're into that. Also, like I said, the quality is really good. It blends out really easily, and I feel like you can create a ton of different neutral tone looks, like not always the same one. I feel like a lot of palettes ended up launching towards the end of the year, especially throughout like the holidays and stuff like that, and this one was for sure. And this one is the Faced Gingerbread palette. I am in love with this one. If it's not my number 1, it's my number 2 favorite. Like, it seriously ended up being one of my top 3 palettes for 2018. I am in love with this. I know it probably doesn't look very different, but it really is. Like, if you can create a lot of different looks with it. Let me see. Let's focus. Okay, there you go. So this one came broken, by the way. I did not hit pan on it. This one was the one that I took back with me to Texas whenever we went both times, and it's because I knew for sure I can either create a colorful look with it, or a neutral tone look with it, or a night look with it. Like, it has shimmers, it has warm tones, and it has the regular browns. Like, it just has a lot. You can do a lot. You can basically do every single look that you might want if you want a little bit of color. Of course, you don't get like greens and blues or anything like that, but you get a pretty orange, that pink one, a purple one, and then you get that nice green shade in here that just looks so pretty. Let me swatch some of the other ones so that way you can see them. So these are pretty much like the colorful shades that you get. But yes, you guys, much the colorful shades that you get in this palette. You get more. There's another purple one over here, a nice gold one. So you get a variety in it. And this one, like I said, is probably like my top 3 out of all the ones that I'm showing you. And the formula, I was saying, they did something different with this one compared to like the chocolate gold, the chocolate bar, the Tutti, not Tutti Frutti, the, what's the other one called? The one with the little heart, the bonbons. It's different. The formula of this one is different. I hope they continue to make their future palettes like this one. Okay, moving on to the last 2 palettes, I had to for sure include this one. This one is the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. And just like all the other ones, the quality, everybody stepped up their game with the quality in eyeshadows. For some reason, they got a lot creamier, they got a lot smoother, easier to blend, and this one is just the same. I love the shades, the tones, the undertones of the mattes in here. And then I also really liked these different shades over here. I'm not a big fan of those glitters that it has, and I ended up liking the concealer. I honestly thought the concealer was like a waste of space and like I'm not even gonna use it, but I ended up actually using it quite a bit. So I am surprised about that concealer. It's already dirty, but I really don't care. Like, I can still use it on my eyes, and I'm gonna pack on some eyeshadow on top of it. So there's that. Or you could just clean it up whenever you're gonna use it if you don't like that it has powder in there, but it honestly doesn't make a big difference. I really like these shades, and these ended up working very good with the glitter glue that I tried it with. I do have the eye swatches, but the shimmers in here, these 4 are beautiful. Like, you have to see the way that they apply individually with the Too Faced glitter glue. It makes such a huge difference. And then it also works really nicely with the concealer that it has inside. Okay, this last one, I was not sure if I should include it or not because it's so new, but I had to include it because it's a 2018 launch, and I'm not going to be able to include it in my 2019 top 10 palettes or whatever it is that I end up doing later. So I had to include it. I actually asked them how to pronounce it, and they did tell me, so I will have it right here so that way you can see. Beaute, that is how you pronounce the name of the company. But look, the shades in here, I'm like, this is all I need. This is such a beautiful combination of colors. Like, I don't even know what to say. This one has such unique tones that I'm like, I love it. I want to use it every single day. I'm wearing it today too. And my favorite color in here is called Cider. It's this orangey, like mustard orangey one. I already used this one, these orange ones. This one I used it today. This one I used in a previous video that I did film, but I didn't post it because it was like really blurry and the lighting was really bad, so I ended up not posting that tutorial. And then I also love this green one. This one is the one that I'm wearing on my lower lash line. That one is called the Moss, and I am just in love with the palette. Oh, I'm also wearing the purple one today. And then this orange one right here called Fiery. So yes, it's new, but I have to include it because it's so unique. It's so different. I'm gonna have a review on this. I mean, you already know that I like it, but I want to show you all of the swatches. I want to get into detail about them. And by the way, this is the first palette that I try from this brand, and whenever I saw the pictures of it, I knew I wanted it because of the green and because of the orange. The orange, not the orange, well, the oranges too, but the yellow one, that's the reason why I wanted the palette. It has a pretty aqua, and then like, oh, so pretty. All of them are so pretty. They look like they pair up really well together, but at the same time, they're so unique, different, like separately. You know what I mean? It's so easy to combine. If you like color, you will love this one. I'll show you some swatches right now, so that way you can take a look at them. Oh, this yellow one is my favorite. Well, I have some shades already. Let me show you them right here on my fingers. Look at how pretty those are. Look at this one over here. It's like a greenish blue, and then this blue one. Oh my god, they are so nice. And they are so pretty and intense. Like, they were so easy for me to use, to apply, to blend out. I will have a tutorial using wearing with this look that I'm wearing today, and look at the colors. They're just so beautiful. Even though they're so different from each other, they're easy to blend to where they don't get muddy and blend in together. You know what I mean? I could still see the difference between the yellow, the orange, the purple that I have. It's barely there like in my crease to like intensify it, but it's there. Yes, there are some pretty ones that I like I said, the BH Cosmetic ones, but those are more like rainbow palettes where you get the basic shades like green, pink, blue, purple, orange, you know, like that. These on the other hand are like unique tones, so that is the difference between a rainbow palette and having something a little bit different with like with actual different tones in it. So I had to include it. Oh, and it also has like the super bright yellow shade. Like what? You get a little bit of everything in here. So this one had to for sure be included. So that is basically it for my top palettes for 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, I hope you're having a great beginning of the year. I'm so excited for all of the uploads that I have planned out. They're not edited or filmed or anything, but I do have them all planned out. You're gonna get a lot of tutorials, reviews, eye swatches. There's a ton coming, a ton, and I'm so excited about that. I hope you are too, because there's gonna be a lot going up on my channel. And anyways, that is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching another one of mine, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.